weiß Bescheid. Intendo.
Welcome to All Caribbean Entrepreneurs. If you've been ready and waiting to take your business digital and get paid online while you sip something strong on the beach, this podcast is for you. We'll hear from the Caribbean's finest entrepreneurs on topics like e-commerce, business development, brand building, social media, their wins and failures. This is the only place in the region helping you navigate the digital age from the Caribbean's perspective. This is Digipreneur FM. And now, let's give it up for the Digiboss himself, Mr. Karan Rose.
Thank you. You are tuning in live to another episode of the Digipreneur FM podcast. Folks, this is episode number 10. Give it up. Episode number 10. The feedback has been great. We've made it to number 10, and this is really a special moment. This is a really special moment for me because, from the start of this podcast, I let you guys know that, I've been creating content for quite some years now, consistently. And every once in a while, whenever content starts to feel like a chore for you, you have to kind of switch it up and you have to kind of find ways to keep yourself motivated in creating content. And for me, figuring out new ways to drive the message of digital entrepreneurship, e-commerce, online business for Caribbean entrepreneurs, figuring out different ways to create and deliver that message is something that has kept me motivated because I get to try out new things, right? So, doing the blogs, doing video, creating different types of social media content, all of those things, help to keep me motivated in creating because I'm always experimenting. Things are never really the same. And whenever I felt like it's getting a little stale, I switch it up and I try something new. And I think so far with every medium of that you can create content, so far I think I've had the most fun podcasting because there's just so many things that you can do with the audio format platform. And between podcasting and doing live streaming, those are definitely two of my favorite ways to communicate. I still enjoy the blogging, not as much, but because I know the importance of creating content for your website and blogging, or even if it's just doing a summary of your videos or some of your podcasts and getting that embedded on your website, with the audio podcast or with your embedded videos, I'm never going to stop blogging because of the importance of it. So folks, today, episode number 10, what are we talking about? It is all about the key infrastructure needed for marketing success and for building your business online. This is something that has been a major weakness of Caribbean businesses. We haven't put the right tools and infrastructure in place to measure our marketing success and for also to make our businesses online or to turn our businesses viable online. So we're going to be going into the key piece of infrastructure that you need so that you can start to measure what your marketing is actually doing. Because, listen, we in the Caribbean are very creative people. I see some of the most amazing pieces of content, whether it be TikTok videos, whether it be YouTube videos, even just going through people's Instagrams and just seeing the content that they are creating. We are some amazingly talented and creative people. But what happens is when you are a business and you have to now measure your lead generation, how many sales are you getting? How much traffic are you driving to your platform? It's a bit different than when you are just a creator and you're just creating for social media, and you're just doing it, to build your name, and you're doing it to have some fun, and you're building your name as an entertainer or as a creative on any one of these platforms. As you are a business, it's a bit different, and tools that we need are going to be different than somebody who's just creating and uploading and putting it to TikTok, right? They're okay with just the bare minimum in terms of, the metrics of likes, shares, the impressions, understanding, who is coming into your audience, the age, the demographics, the country. Like, those things are okay if you are just creating on those platforms. But when you are a business and you have to now report, how well your marketing is doing, and if the things that you are doing are generating leads and sales for your business, or if you're an entrepreneur, and again, you need to know what content is working for you, it's a little bit different, all right? So today, we are going to be diving into the key infrastructure needed for marketing success. So I have 6, at bare minimum, there are 6 tools that I believe every business needs to have in order for marketing to really do what it needs to do. All right. So number one, your website. Yeah. I know what you guys are saying. This guy's always talking about this website. Oh, why do we need it? Listen, your website is your digital home. It is your connected hub when built correctly. When you understand what a website can do for you and your brand, you understand the importance and why it needs to be at the center of everything that you guys are doing. Your website is the most critical piece because it is a digital connected hub. Your website is your digital home that does more than just show info, folks. It collects data for you to analyze the audience that you serve. It collects data. And it does that in a variety of ways. So anybody that's coming to your website, when you have the right tools, and again, we're going to be getting into some of those tools that need to be connected to your website in order to collect the data that you need that will allow you to make better decisions month after month. Right? We're going to be getting into that. But your website collects a lot of data for you. It is that place. It is your home. It is a place that you control. It's the place that you own. We don't own social media. Always keep that in mind. When we build on social media, okay, cool, we can build community, but we don't own the platform, which means that we have to abide by the house rules of the platform. So if our content or our post goes against the rules and regulations of that particular platform, there is somebody that can shut your post down. They could take that down, or they can just cancel your account. Worse yet, when they do it by accident. All right? Your website is that place where you can control. So you always want to get the traffic that you generate on social media. You always want to point it back to your website so your website can also collect more data than social media is going to give you. All of the stats that social media, and it doesn't matter what social media platform it is, all of the data and stats that social media gives you pales into comparison than what you can collect on your own website. The real data goes to Zuckerberg and Reid Hoffman on LinkedIn. The real data goes to the platforms. They just give us some nice to know insights that are good to know, but you can't really get strategic with the majority of the data that social media gives you. The real data that you can get to make some crazy decisions is going to be given to you from your website when it's built correctly. A big benefit of your website is that you can connect a CRM, a customer relationship manager, and it can track all of the movements of your subscribers that they take on your website. So one of the popular CRMs for marketing purposes is HubSpot. And I like to think that HubSpot, listen, the developers of HubSpot know black magic. The things that HubSpot can do for your brand is nothing short of magical, all right? I love using it because, when it's connected to your website and people subscribe to your newsletter, They subscribe to your platform or they make a purchase on your platform. HubSpot can then track all of the movements, all the future movements of that person on your specific website. So you can see, what platform the people are coming to your website from, whether they're coming from Facebook, Instagram, Google, Yahoo. You can see what piece of content drove them back to your website, which is, again, amazing to know, because then you could see what blog or what piece of content is generating sales, because HubSpot is also going to be tracking the amount of revenue that people are spending on your website. And you can attribute which platform is getting you the most sales, which piece of content is generating the most sales. Another thing that HubSpot does is, even when people don't subscribe to your newsletter, if they are viewing your website from a company company IP address. So if they're at work, they're within their work office and they're visiting your website, HubSpot can also track what companies are visiting your website. Now, it can be a bit tricky in the sense that somebody could be at work and visiting your platform for personal purposes, right? Or it could genuinely be the actual company themselves are on your platform because they want to see what you're up to, what you're doing. And it could be that they are looking at you because they want to do business with you, right? But nonetheless, HubSpot is going to track all of the companies that are coming to your website. And then you now can kind of reverse engineer the conversation. So what I do is every week, I look to see what companies are visiting my website. I would then cross-reference that to see if anybody subscribed to my platform with their work email. And then I get their email or I get their name and I go check them out on LinkedIn to see who it is. And if it is that there is some business that I could potentially do with them, then I'm going to initiate the conversation, right? And I know that they know who I am because they have been visiting my platform and they have also subscribed to my platform. And even if the company that is viewing your platform has not subscribed, nobody has used their work email to subscribe, just knowing that, hey, there are these companies that are visiting your website and they're checking you out is great, because then you can go find them on LinkedIn. You can pull up the company. You can see all of the employees of the company, and then you now could start to add or connect with people from that particular company. And if there's some business that you can do, you could start to try to reach out to people one by one, just, break the ice, have the conversations, because you don't know what kind of business that could lead to in the near future. So your website, you're going to be able to connect things like, your Google Search Console, your Bing Webmaster Tools, and those things are going to track how your website is performing on the search engines from Google or from Bing. You could see crazy things like, what queries or questions people are typing in that are leading to your website. So you get some really amazing data from having your website. And when you're connecting things like your CRM, when you're connecting things like your Google and your Bing Webmaster Tools and your Google Analytics tools, when you connect things like Hotjar, where it gives you like a heat map of everything that people are clicking on within your website. So you're seeing what are the hot buttons that people are clicking on with respect to your website and what buttons people are not clicking on whatsoever. And you can kind of probably change those things up. So there's a lot of information that you can get. That's just the tip of the iceberg. And most importantly, folks, your website allows for e-commerce. So remember, in the Caribbean, we do not have any of the e-commerce tools that Facebook and Instagram and these companies give the rest of their markets, more specifically the U.S. market. We cannot, add to cart on Facebook, or we cannot use the new Facebook shops that allow for direct settlement on the platform. We don't have Instagram shops that, again, allow for, sales on the platform. Heck, we don't even have product tagging on Instagram in the Caribbean, right? Those features are not reserved for us. So your website is that critical piece because there's e-commerce that will be allowed to happen. People can purchase your products on your website. That is a critical piece of infrastructure for your business, for it to be online, for it to find success, and for your marketing purposes, all right? Your marketing is generating your revenue, your leads, and you need that website. You need that website. The second key piece of infrastructure that your business needs for marketing success and for success digitally is your email list. A healthy email list helps you cut down on ad spend. You do not own your social media or your followers. Every business should work hard to turn social traffic into owned traffic. Let me say that again. You do not own social media, nor do you own your quote-unquote followers. Every business should work hard to turn social traffic into owned media. You own the data of your email list, people. Subscribers are more primed to do business with you that are on your email list than casual followers. Because think about it. People have to go and take action and consciously subscribe to your platform in order to get onto your email list. Right? It takes more for people to get on your email list than to follow you on social media. Some people are following you on social media, as by the way, they might have seen one or two posts, follow you, but not necessarily want to do business with you. They follow you just because, right? For a variety of different reasons. But the people that are taking the additional steps to get on your email list are more primed to do business with you. Having an email list also allows you to save on ad spend. So remember, with social media, we are constantly fighting against the algorithm. It doesn't matter the size of your following. Facebook only shows about 0.4% of your content to the people that subscribe to your Facebook page. Instagram is roughly the same thing. TikTok and LinkedIn have higher impression rates, right? They show more of your content to more people on those platforms, but nonetheless, there's still an algorithm. So what your email list allows you to do is people can subscribe to your email list, and because you now own that data, right? You own your email list. There is no algorithm. So whatever emails that you are going to send out, there is no algorithm in between you and your client, meaning that if you have 100 people on your list, 100 people are going to receive your email. You could have 1,000 people on social media, and then you check your impressions, and you're like, "Yo, this was only 80 people seeing this post." And then you gotta now, figure out what is the best time to post. When is my audience most active on social media? What are the right hashtags? There's so much that goes into, creating a post that gets seen on social media. Just having great content isn't enough. There's always that additional stuff that you need to do in order for maximum reach on the social media platforms. And even if you're not somebody that's studying things like the best time to post or when your audience is most engaged, or you're not bothering to do, hashtag research, you still have to encourage people to, follow you. You still have to encourage people to turn on the notification bell so that they get notified every time you make a post. There's still those additional steps in order for them to see your content, right? So, and then on top of that, you don't even own the followers. You don't even own the data. So you're doing all of that, encouraging people to do the most, turn on the notification bell, doing the hashtag research, figuring out the best timing to post, and you still don't own the data. You still don't own the data after doing all of that. You own the data with your email list. So if you're going to spend all this time encouraging people to do particular calls to action, depending on your depending on the campaign that you're doing or what you're trying to drive traffic to. I mean, there's nothing wrong with building on social media. You just need to understand that you're building on rented land, and that could be gone at any point in time. What you want to focus on doing is converting your social traffic into earned or owned media. You want to focus on converting your social traffic into owned media. Get these people onto lists and platforms that you own, that you control. That way you have that data. That way you remove the algorithm and you can now talk to them, and you're going to be able to get your message out to them, and you know that they received it. Whether they open it is a different question, but at least you know that 1,000 people received your email if you have 1,000 people on your list. The other great thing with your email list is that you can segment your lists and you can create targeted campaigns based on the content that they subscribe to. One of the things that HubSpot does extremely well that I have not seen on any other emailing platform is because HubSpot is a CRM and it's not just an email marketing service, and HubSpot's collecting so much data on the people that are subscribing to you. You can target people on HubSpot that have spent a certain amount of money with you. You can target people that have viewed a certain amount of pages on your website. You can target people that, have come to your platform from a specific place. Like, I want to email people only that came in from Google or only that came in from Facebook. Or maybe I want to target people that viewed this specific website, this specific page on my website, There are hundreds of factors that allow you to do targeting on HubSpot email platform because you own that data, and HubSpot is a CRM that you can't do on some of the other platforms like a MailChimp or a ConvertKit and you name it. But because HubSpot is a CRM, there's so much more data that it collects that it allows you to get so granular with how you do email marketing. So that second key piece of infrastructure you need for marketing success and to really grow your business online is your email list. The third key piece of infrastructure is your analytics tools. And I've kind of touched on them a bit, but let's dive into it a little bit more. Web analytics give you the type of insights that social media doesn't. The data you pull from Google Search Console, Google Analytics, and Bing Webmaster are invaluable pieces to digital success. These tools allow you to understand your audience's behavior. You can see the keywords used on the search engines to find your content. That's powerful. That's invaluable. Knowing that I can see exactly what was the question or what was the key word that people are typing into the search engines that is gaining me traffic to my website. When I see things like, hey, people typed in drop shipping and you have shown up 40,000 times in the last month for drop shipping, and 5,000 people have clicked through to read your content on drop shipping. Well, if I know that drop shipping is a hot topic for me and it's getting all of these impressions on the search engines, then that means that the topic is hot, people are searching for it, and I can now double down. I could use my research tools to see even more prospective questions that people are asking about drop shipping in a specific country during a specific time frame, and then I could use that prospective research to turn that into content to create. And then that would allow me to generate more impressions to get a higher chance of a click through to my website. And if I have products and services that are geared towards teaching on dropshipping, there's going to be an increased chance of me selling those products. But then if people are subscribing to my platforms because they're looking for more dropshipping content, then my CRM is going to show me that, hey, you're getting more people subscribing due to your dropshipping blogs. It all feeds into the data that you can collect and then be strategic on. You are able to see your top web performing pages and content that are bringing you traffic using your analytics tools like the Google Search Console, Google Analytics, Bing Webmaster. You could then receive monthly report cards on how your website has performed and how it has brought you business. That's major. When last has Instagram sent you a report card? Hey, you were found by these hashtags. This is how many times you were found by these hashtags. You don't get those report cards. Right? Your website, when you have those analytics tools built into it and you know how to use them. So if you have a website and you have never, really dove into Google Search Console, many of you guys have installed Google Analytics but have no idea how it's used, right? But you need to be paying attention to Google Search Console and Bing Webmaster tools. Those are two critical tools that you should be paying attention to regularly because they give you so much market research. If you don't know how to use them, if you don't know how to use Google Search Console or Google Analytics, I invite you to jump onto Google Digital Garage and take some of the free courses on Google Search Console, Google Analytics, and also Google Trends. Take those courses and start to implement the information that those courses are going to give you. You're going to be far better off understanding how those tools can help you make some amazing decisions in your business. Next up, retargeting pixels. So this is another amazing piece of infrastructure that every business needs. It ensures that all site visitors can be re-engaged. Your retargeting pixels ensure that all site visitors can be re-engaged. It's a piece of tracking code that tags website visitors and allows you to get in front of them again on various parts of the internet. So some of the top retargeting pixels are your Google pixel, your Facebook pixel, and your Twitter pixel. So when someone comes to your website, and let's just say they don't take no action. They come to your website because they're just checking you out. And maybe, something happens and, they had to log out, but they did not subscribe to your email list. They did not purchase a product. They did nothing. They just came, they viewed the website, and they don't take any action. Your retargeting pixel is going to tag those people that have come to the website. So depending on whether you're using the Google Pixel, the Facebook Pixel, the Twitter Pixel, maybe you're using all of them. You can now launch a retargeting campaign so that your content or your website or whatever link you want to use shows up to that person on those particular platforms that they use. So let's give you a good example. Somebody comes to my website, and we know that in the Caribbean, Facebook has double the amount of monthly active users in the very next platform, right? Facebook's the largest social media platform in the Caribbean, and by far. So somebody comes to my website. I have the Facebook pixel on my website. The person comes, they take no action on my website. I could then go into Facebook. I could then create a new audience. And I could instruct Facebook to say, hey, I want you to, for this new audience, I want you to go and look at the pixel that we have used, the Facebook pixel, and take all of the data from the Facebook pixel, from who has been tagged by it, and you could do it for a maximum of 180 days, meaning anybody that's visited your website within 180 days will be in this pixel pool for Facebook. And you could then instruct Facebook to say, look at all of those visitors and match them up on Facebook. So if they have a Facebook profile and they visited your website, they would then go into this new audience that you're creating on Facebook. So once it matches up everybody that has visited your website, once it's matched up to their Facebook profile, they go into this new audience that you have created. And you could now market to them. You could now, remind them, hey, thank you for visiting this particular website or checking out this product. Or maybe you're just, creating a video, you're creating an ad that pushing out to them to remind them that, hey, you know what, you visited my website and you want to stay top of mind. You could push them, to them anything that you want. But it's a warm audience because they have visited your website. And the reason why retargeting is so amazing is because if you've done things like your market research, so you understand what people want in your audience in your country, and you have created the right content, and the right people are finding your content and they are subscribing to your platforms, or maybe they don't subscribe at that particular point in time, but they're coming to your website from particular content that you are putting out, you have a higher quality retargeting list if you have done your marketing research and you're creating the right content. That way, when people see these ads popping up for you on Facebook, reminding them, hey, you visited this particular page, or you're just posting, more content, but you're targeting those people to kind of remind them that, hey, you visited the website, we have more great content. Whatever you decide to push out to them, it's a higher quality list, because you would have created better content, because you would have done your market research. Retargeting also has higher conversion rates than boosting ads to cold audiences on Facebook. Retargeting has a higher conversion rate than boosting ads to a cold audience on Facebook. So many of you just post on Facebook, hit boost, and you boost to everybody. Boost to people who have these random interests, men and women 18 to 65 in the entire country, and then complain that, you're not getting the results that you guys want on Facebook. Retargeting helps tremendously with that because you're marketing to a warm audience, people who have visited your website. All right? Whether they subscribed or not, they're still getting tagged by your Facebook pixel. So you can get your content to them on things like Google, all of Google services, Facebook, Twitter. When you do your retargeting, you're going to be able to put out your content or your ads or whatever, but you're marketing them to people who have visited your platform, which is a warm audience. That's huge. They have shown interest in your brand. They have shown interest in your brand because they've been tagged by your tracking software, your tracking pixel. Every single business should have retargeting pixels on their websites. Next up, so we've gone through, your website, and again, this is showing you, how connected your website can be when done correctly and how much data it can collect for you and allow you to find success. Gone through the website. Second was our email list. Third, our analytics tools. Fourth is our retargeting pixels. And then number 5 is our web push notifications. This is another critical piece of infrastructure that every single business should have. Your web push notifications allow your audience, to opt in for real-time updates. A mobile responsive website and web push notifications will negate the reason for 95% of businesses to have an app. So remember, the majority of us that have wanted to, get into apps, the main reason people want apps for their business is so that they can now push notifications to people. They build these apps so that they can now push direct notifications to people. That way there's no algorithm again. So what web push notifications allow you to do is you could have a mobile responsive website. People can subscribe to your push notification list from your website, and you can get that exact same thing that the app would have done for you. The main thing that people want apps for, which is to push out the notifications. So site visitors opt in from your website. You can send push notifications to your desktop and also your mobile devices. And the best part is that these notifications are actionable, meaning that when the notification comes in, you can connect pictures, you can also connect links, and then people can tap on the notification, and then that can drive them to wherever you want to go. And remember, there's no algorithm. So if you have 600 people that have opted into your notification list, then everybody's going to receive it, and they're going to receive it on whatever device they subscribed from. So whether it's their desktop, whether it's their tablet, or whether it's their phone, these notifications are going to show up in their notification trays. They can click on it, they could read the little blurb that you add in there. And then if it's an actionable notification, they'll be able to click on it, and it will drive them to wherever you are trying to take them to. What's also great is that all new web content that you create on your website automatically sends a notification to the list. So anytime you create a blog, or maybe you take a video or a podcast and you embed it on your website, and as soon as you publish that new post, your audience now automatically gets that notification. Hey, new podcast, or hey, new video, and it goes out to them. That's amazing. Anytime you're having events, you can push out notifications on your list. If people have added to cart and they did not make the purchase, you can have your notifications set up with your website to send abandoned cart notifications to remind them, hey, you added this to cart, you didn't make the payment yet. Because some people just forget, or again, life happens, and they're not able to make that purchase at that particular point in time. So you could send them an abandoned cart notification to remind them. Push notifications are absolutely great for announcements. And guess what, folks? Push notifications also have higher open rates than emails. So, and you know what's funny is that things like pretty much almost all of the platforms like a MailChimp, ConvertKit, after you send an email, they generate a link, an HTML link, where people can click on it and then you can read the email that was sent out. You could create an email, send it out to your email list, and then get that link, and then go over to your push notifications platform and say, hey folks, check out the new newsletter that we just sent out to the email list, and then drop the link to the email that you would have sent out. And then when people click on it that are on your notification list, it will pop up the HTML version of the newsletter you sent out to the email list. And that could encourage people to get on your email list. So they can work hand in hand if you choose to. And it's great because again, these are two platforms that you own. You own that data. There's no algorithm there. And you can encourage people on your notification list to get up on your email list for more insights. And again, it's just more ways for you to connect to your audience. Last but not least, the sixth key piece of infrastructure that I tell everybody you should have at a bare minimum for digital success and for marketing success is your CRM. So I touched on your CRM earlier, but let's dive into it a bit more. A good CRM will track and tie in all of your marketing and sales efforts. To me, it's almost impossible to succeed without a CRM and the insights that it provides you. My CRM of choice is HubSpot. It's a great CRM for a wide variety of uses. Now, keep in mind, there are a wide variety of CRMs. HubSpot is one of the best ones for marketing purposes. All right? For marketing purposes, for sales purposes, it's great for that as well. And for also to maintain the relationships that you have to see if you're going to schedule appointments. There's a wide variety of uses for HubSpot, but again, it's one of the best ones for marketing. So I always encourage people to at least get the free version of HubSpot, connect it to your website. That way you have all of the marketing activities captured. And if you want to use any of the other services, feel free to go through them or go through HubSpot Academy to see if it works for you. Or even if you're using other CRMs that focus on different things for your business, again, at least have the free CRM from HubSpot to track your marketing activities because it is one of the best ones. So it tracks all of the actions that people take on your website. Again, it tracks all of the companies and government entities that view your website, which is major. Because when I see government entities checking out my website, I start to jump on LinkedIn and see if any of those people who in my LinkedIn network might be working for those industries or working for those government entities, and if there's any one of them that I can connect with. I can clearly see that somebody within that ministry has viewed it. Let me see if I can, start to connect with people in that ministry through LinkedIn. And at least gives me, a compass to kind of help me connect with the right people that there could be potential business opportunities with. It can integrate with your social media ad account and track all of your social media conversions. So what HubSpot allows you to do is you can connect your Facebook ad account, your Google ad account, your LinkedIn ad account, and then it tracks all of the activities. So if you make a post on any one of those platforms, it's going to track how many impressions did you get? How many click-throughs did you get to your website? How many people subscribe to your website? And a wide variety of other metrics. And then it also can calculate the ROI. So it's also going to track your ad spend. How much money did you spend on this particular post to boost it? And then it'll calculate the ROI for you. So you know exactly if the post did well, if the money you spent on it was worth it, if you got a return on your investment. HubSpot is going to be able to calculate all of those things for you. It can track how visitors find your website and the first page is viewed. Again, that's critical. So I love knowing that, hey, people might have biases, right? So what happens is when I talk to clients, people might say things like, we don't create on Facebook because, Facebook, we don't get the likes on Facebook, right? But then when you have your website and you have your HubSpot CRM connected, and then when we generate the report as to which platform was giving you the most traction, which platform generated the most leads back to your website, people are always amazed that they're like, oh my God, like so many people are viewing our website from Facebook, but they're not liking our content. Keep in mind, likes, comments are vanity metrics. If people are not liking or commenting, but they're clicking through to your website, that's huge because now when they click through to your website, they get tagged by your retargeting pixel. Now you could retarget to them and show up your content on the different platforms that they are on, like Facebook or Twitter or Google. And then you could also purchase. You could also create content that helps generate the leads and generates e-commerce purchases for you. They don't have to like your content on Facebook to purchase from you. As crazy as that sounds, they don't. As crazy as that sounds. There are people that have never liked my content, never shared my content, never commented on my content, but they end up in my paid workshops. And I'm like, I've never seen this person interact with my stuff. And then when you have a conversation with them, they're like, yeah, I see your stuff everywhere. Your stuff is great. But they're not going to comment on it publicly for whatever reason, right? And they find your content from the platform that you least expected it from. I've had some VPs that I didn't even know are on Facebook tell me that they see my content on Facebook all the time. And they don't like or comment because I've never seen them connect with me on Facebook. And they're in my paid webinars, my paid workshops. And they found me from Facebook. All right? So your CRM is going to show you which platforms are generating the traffic for you. and it's going to kill all of your biases. So it's going to show you where the traffic is coming from, where your subscribers are coming from, and all the biases that you have about, which platform is working for you. If you don't have the right tools connected to your platforms to track all of these things, you would never know. You're just going to go based on what you feel is happening. Because we in the Caribbean do that. We like to talk to our ancestors. Tell me, which platform is working for me? We close our eyes and then I feel you're saying LinkedIn. I feel LinkedIn is the one that's working for me. Meanwhile, it's TikTok. it's something crazy, right? But because you don't have the right infrastructure or the right tools to track all of these various things, you're going based on your bias and your feeling of what is working for you. We need to cut that out in the Caribbean. We got to cut that out. We have to cut that out. So CRM is that sixth key tool, that key piece of infrastructure that all businesses should have in place as a bare minimum. I encourage everybody, build your infrastructure. Your digital success cannot be analyzed or measured without it. And I'll repeat that. I want all Caribbean businesses to focus on building your infrastructure. Your digital success cannot be analyzed or measured without it. So you want to have your website. You want to have your email list. You want to have your analytics tools, your Google Search Console, Google Analytics, your Bing Webmaster, your Hotjar. You want to have your retargeting pixels. All of those should be on your website, integrated into it. So you can get your websites and your content back in front of people who don't take action on your website the first time. You want to set up web push notifications because, again, it's another medium that you own. You own that data. When people subscribe to your push notifications, you can connect with them with no algorithm. Same thing with your email list. There's no algorithm with you connecting on your email list to your push notification list. Right? Take that social media traffic, push people to your website. That way they have the opportunity to subscribe to your push notification list, to subscribe to your email list, and then on top of that, they automatically get tagged by your retargeting pixels so you can market to them again. And last but not least, you want to have your CRM. And for marketing purposes, I recommend HubSpot, even if it's just a free HubSpot account, because all those things I talked about that HubSpot can track are doing those things on the free platform, on the free version of it. Folks, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed episode number 10, the key infrastructure needed for your marketing success and for building your brand online. As always, if you found some value in this episode, please share this content with your friends, family, your business colleagues, other entrepreneurs that, this information can help. This type of information can save lives, especially right now with the pandemic still, at large in the Caribbean. A lot of our countries are still locked down. Businesses are still closed. This is a great time for people to start rebuilding and putting things in place so that they can start to build their business online and get those things that they need so that they can either conduct business right now, because a lot of these digital mediums that we're using, there are still things that we can do in our business to generate opportunity and generate revenue even when we are locked down. But even better, when the country opens back up, we're going to be in a much better place to succeed. So share this with your people. Don't forget, please, whatever platform you're listening to this on, drop a rating. The ratings definitely help get the word out about the podcast. And I always love to hear or watch or see your reviews of the podcast. So drop a review if you don't mind. Please drop a review for the podcast. I love to read them. They help other people, decide whether or not they want to listen to this guy, Mr. Karen Rose, talk about Caribbean digital entrepreneurship, right? And last but not least, feel free to follow me on any social media platform at Karen Rose. I'm Karen Rose everywhere. It doesn't matter the social media platform. And when all else fails, I'm very Googleable. You can just Google Karen Rose and you're going to see my website, KarenRose.com, or any of the social media platforms that I'm on. I'm most active on LinkedIn, most active on Instagram. Those are my two platforms of choice that you guys can connect with me on. And I look forward to seeing you guys in episode number 11. This was a very good episode. So, folks, I hope to see you in the next one. You guys, take care.
You've been listening to the Digiboss, Karen Rose. We hope your notepad was filled after this episode. Make sure to like, rate, and review the show. The learning doesn't stop, folks. And to make sure you don't miss any gems from the Digiboss, go over and follow him on all social media platforms at Karen Rose. Folks, don't just sit there with a notepad. We need you to implement at least one thing into your business before the next episode. That's the only way your business levels up. Thanks for listening to Digipreneur FM. Now go be great.